Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night all from where or when you're watching this video. This is John from IT Skills Academy. We continue to create this cool inventory management system. In our previous video, we started the process of receiving products from the available suppliers. This was however not finished, and so we continue with the same in this video. I recommend that you watch all the previous videos that we have created so that you can easily follow along. Find the link to the playlist in the description below. In this episode, we insert the received product into the database and create a page where we will start the process of receiving them. That sounds cool, right? If this is something that you might not want to miss, consider watching until the end and subscribe for more if you have not subscribed yet. As you can see, we have a lot to do, so let's get started. Well, so we are on the manage receiving page. This is a page that we created in our previous video, and what we were starting with is to include the action. This will help us to, when a person clicks on the button, to be taken to a specific page that will have the PHP script that will help in inserting the data into the database. And this is the page. I've named it manage_receiving_inc. It will include the PHP code that will help in inserting the data into the database. And so here I write the code, and I'm starting with the connection to the database, where I'm requiring the con.php. So again, this is a file that contains the PHP script that helps us to connect to the database. And instead of repeating that every time I want to connect to the database, the easiest way is to have a file with the PHP script to connect to the database, and always require it whenever it's required. So now after that, we are using the if statement. Because we are passing the information through a form, so with the help of the set post submit, we can be able to get all the values or all the data collected from the form. So the first thing that we want to do is to grab the supplier name and all the other data related to the product that we are receiving. And so here we are just storing the data collected from the form into various variables, so that now we can be able to correct the data from the variable and insert the data into the database. Alright, so I always like to test if I'm able to correct the information and whether the submit button is working. So I'll just try with one record, and that is the supplier name. So I'll just try to echo it and see if I can be able to grab it. Now that we have collected the data from the form and stored them into various variables, we now create the insert statement that will help us to insert the data into the database. And in this case, we'll be inserting it in a table called purchase order. So these are tables that will contain all the purchase orders that we have, and this from where we'll be able to manage the orders. Now that we have received the product, we now want to update the store, so that now the store has the new balance. So for that, we are creating a variable called balance, and here we are saying that the balance is equals to the new quantity plus the available quantity. So now after that, we are writing the update statement that will help now to update the quantity, the date, and the price of the product received. And now we also need to get the ID of the product as well, and so we are going to have it somewhere here in an input field that should be hidden. We're going to hide that later. So this will just help us to grab the ID of the product that the user has selected to receive from the supplier. And so now we come and try to get the ID here, so still using the post method. Well, now that we have received products from the suppliers, it means we have an invoice that we need to settle. So for that reason, I created a page called Invoice, and this is from where we'll be able to manage the supplier payments. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm using a template that we have been basically using while creating this inventory system, just to help us save time. And I'll just come and try to edit it a little bit. So like in this case, I'll just come and call it invoice, and then down here I now can just come and now fix whatever I need to have in this specific page. Well, that is for this video. Hope you enjoyed. In the next video, we continue with the process of paying the suppliers. See you then.